Hello, everyone. It's Wendy Barlow from Cohen Tucker and Atis. I'm here today to talk to you about the asylum transit ban. You may have heard about it in conjunction with the end of Title 42, uh, but you may not know what it means and who it applies to. So today I'm going to go over a little bit about what the policy is, exceptions, who it applies to, and how you may be able to overcome some of the presumptions in the ban. All right, so the asylum transit ban is a proposal by the Biden administration. It actually just kind of tweaks a previous uh, policy established by President Trump that never went into effect due to litigation. But essentially, it went into effect on the end of Title 42 on May 11th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. And it creates a rebuttable presumption that an asylum seeker is ineligible for asylum based on how he, she, they entered the US and whether he, she, they applied for protection through a country which they transited on their way to the US. This ban applies to asylum seekers who enter the United States at the southern border, as well as adjacent coastal borders without documents for lawful entry between May 11th, 2023 and currently till May 11th, 2025. Um, the purpose of this was to help stem what was anticipated to be um, high um, unlawful entry rates at the end of Title 42. So, the ban applies to individuals, again, who cross the US Mexico border um, after Title 42 ended on May 11th, 2023, who enter without lawful documentation and they travel through another country um, other than the country of their citizenship or nationality, or for someone who doesn't have, it is what's called stateless, their last habitual resident. Um, the transit has to be through a country that is a member of the 1951 or 1967 United Nations protocols on the status of refugees. This does include many countries that people who come across the southern border do travel through, such as Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, and Mexico. Okay, so it's going to cover a lot of people who come across the border, the southern, try to enter through the southern border. So, is there anybody this ban does not apply to? Well, again, it only applies to people who currently enter between May 11th, 2023 and May 11th, 2025. So, if you can establish you entered before May 11th, 2023, it would not apply to you. This ban also does not apply to unaccompanied minors, Mexican nationals, foreign nationals who were provided authorization by the Department of Homeland Security to travel to the US to seek parole, as well as their family members. Foreign nationals who use the CBP1 Smart app and presented themselves at the port of entry in conjunction with um, the time and date that they were told to come, as well as foreign nationals who sought and received a final decision on the merits of an asylum, denying their asylum claim or other protection in a country through which they travel. Now, again, that is, you received a final decision on the merits. If you abandon your application for asylum or other protection, that does not count. You will be subject to the ban. So the ban creates a rebuttable presumption. Essentially, that means the government presumes you're not eligible for asylum, but you do have the option to try to show that it should not apply to you. So, what are some of the ways you can overcome this presumption? Um, you can do so if you can establish exceptionally compelling circumstances existed or exist. What could those be? Those could include you're the asylum seeker or their family member with whom they were traveling were facing a serious medical emergency, um, or they faced imminent and extreme threat to their life or safety. or um, the person was subject to meets the definition of a victim of severe form of trafficking in persons. This is not an exhaustive list. There may be other circumstances that would rise to the level of exceptionally compelling. This is just to give you an idea of what types of things would count. Now, um, this if you're subject to this ban, this is going to prevent you from seeking asylum in the United States. You may be entitled to other forms of relief, such as withholding of removal and or relief under the Convention Against Torture, but asylum will be off the table. Um, if you have entered the country without authorization, um, after May 11th, 2023, it's very important, or you have a loved one who did, it's very important that they speak to an immigration attorney as soon as possible. One, the attorney can run through and make sure is the ban actually does the ban actually apply? Maybe they entered a few days before, but were only apprehended after the ban went into effect. They may qualify for an exception if they can show that's the case. And the standard for showing qualifications for exceptions and presumptions, um, it depends on what you're seeking. They may be able to establish that there is a presumption, a rebuttable, they can rebut the presumption. They may be someone who isn't subject to the ban because of other reasons. But this is why an attorney would be helpful. They'll go through, they'll check the time of entry, they'll check the circumstances of the entry, they'll talk about where they traveled through, what they did in those places, and try to see if there is a way that the ban to get around the asylum transit ban. In the alternative, they will see what other forms of relief may be available. Um, there is a lawsuit already pending, as I said before, regarding President Trump's version of this. Um, the same organization that filed that lawsuit is in the process of amending it and seeking injunctive relief. But as of right now, this ban is in effect. So please make sure if you or a loved one has entered the country through the southern border since May 11th or around May 11th, that you're working with an experienced immigration attorney to protect your rights to the best of your ability. At Cohen Tucker and Adas, we've been handling asylum matters for many, many years. The firm's been around for over 40 years. I myself have been practicing almost as an attorney for almost 15 years. So we do have a lot of experience not only on asylum, but litigating things. And while this transit ban is new, we are very skilled at what we do. So if you have questions, please call us at 212-840-0050. Thank you. Have a great day.